Hey guys, it's Kay Journey, and I am back today with another writer's notebook setup. And for this month, I'm actually doing something very different, and I'll talk about it in the voiceover. But I'm setting up for the month of April, and it is the Rough Draft Challenge from Sarah Cannon's Heart Breathings channel. But this month, I'm doing something very different than what I normally do. So let's get into it. Okay, so first things first, I wanted to address the elephant in the room. After this next couple of weeks, I'm going to be upgrading both my audio and my video, so I'm very excited about that. But that's actually not part of the Rough Draft Challenge. I just wanted to say it because the autofocus is kind of in and out on this, and it's driving me crazy. So hopefully by the beginning of the Rough Draft Challenge, I will actually have my regular good camera up and running, and we won't have to deal with the autofocus anymore. And I now have a microphone. I have not set it up yet, but I do. I have a microphone. I'm very excited. I have a really good one. And the microphone is actually part of what the Rough Draft Challenge is going to be for me for this year. Well, for the month of April, not for this year. I might do something else in the fall. But for April, I am doing something very different for the Rough Draft Challenge. So I am taking my books 1 and book 2, and I'm basically chopping them up into episodes. And I've already figured out where all of the good breaks are and yada yada. So basically, book 1 will turn into season 1, and it has 17 episodes in it. And then book 2 will be season 2, and it has 19 episodes in it. So basically, for this month, for every work day, quote unquote work day that I have, I am going to be doing 2 episodes a day. So on my half days, I'll do 1 episode a day. On my regular work days, I'll do 2 episodes a day of basically taking the chunk of the book and making sure that it makes sense as its own episode. I've got great breakpoints, but I do feel like there's certain things that need to be edited and fixed and whatnot. And while I was reading through, I found a bunch of mistakes that were in the text already. So I'm just like, okay, like we're just going to do this. So anyway, I am editing the text, and I am going to be, well, you'll see when we get to that part of the video, but basically I'm taking each chunk and I'm editing it. And then I am going to be voice recording it and posting it as a podcast serialized story episode. So basically each book will be a season of an episode. And I will be posting those probably here. I will be posting them on my website. I will be posting them on Spotify, Google Play, and iTunes, I think. So I'm really excited. I got this wild idea, and I kind of had to go with it. And now that I'm in the middle of it, I just feel like I've expanded all of my horizons in a million different directions, and I'm just so stoked. So if you saw my first video last week on Wednesday, I kind of went over like the markings that I'm making right now on this calendar of like which days I have full days and which days I have half days and which days I have, no time where I'm going to be writing. And then I'm going in and I'm writing down which episode I want to be working on. So I'm starting the month on episode 2 because episode 1 is kind of like my pilot episode, and I'm taking this next week and delving into it as much as I can before I start the Rough Draft Challenge, just so that I know that the changes that I'm planning on making are going to work. So I'm writing down each of these episodes here, and I make a few mistakes. But the number one thing I want to point out with this is what I'm hoping to get done these days. I do not actually expect to get all of this done on the days as I have it written down. In fact, there's a day and a half at the end of the month that are just totally free and open because I know things are going to happen this month and I'm going to run out of time and whatnot. And every time I set myself up for a Rough Draft Challenge or a writing challenge and I fill up all of the time with my expectations, I end up failing somehow, or I end up having to cram it really, into time that I'm not supposed to be working. So I did the math before I even decided to do this for the Rough Draft Challenge, and it completely works, and I'm so excited. Okay, quick interjection here for those who are interested in the actual project itself that I'm going to be doing for the Rough Draft Challenge. So this is a notebook that has both book 1 and book 2 in it. It's like chunky. So let me do this real quick. Okay, so this is book 1, and it is broken down into 17 episodes. And because this was written as a full novel instead of with the idea of short stories connecting together to make it a one big story, I've decided not to try to make each one of these chunks into its own separate story. What I want to do is I want to make sure that each chunk has kind of an intro, a rising tension, and then like a hook at the end. So that's basically what I'm doing is I'm making sure that each chunk of these has those elements, something that would interest a listener, because I'm going to be doing this on audio. So something that would be interest a listener to the point where they would be like, oh, that was really cool. I want to find out what happens next. So slightly rising tension, maybe a little bit of a resolution of some of the tension, and then a cliffhanger that makes you want to jump into the next one. So each place that I've chosen in here is actually a place where there's a really good like, uh-oh, what the hell is going to happen next? Or the chunk is, oh my gosh, this was like a big battle scene where, you know, all this chaos happened, and then there's something at the end where you're like, oh shit, like, yeah, they just got done with this battle, but what's happening next? So I'm really, really, really excited. So it's going to be, there's going to be 35 episodes total that I want to get done. Well, 34 episodes total that I want to get done during the month of April. And my first episode, I'm taking the text and I'm just kind of fiddling with it as much as I can to see if I want to turn each of these mini episodes into something that has its own arc, or if I just want to continue with it the way that it is and just edit as I go. Because now that I'm looking at this text, I'm seeing mistakes that I made, because that's what you do. When you write something and then years later you come back, you're like, oh my God, that's terrible, because we grow as writers. So I'm going to be doing a lot of editing, and I'm going to be updating book 1 and book 2 actually after I do this. And then I'm going to start recording in May, and I'm hoping to launch this whole project on all of the outlets and stuff like that in August. We're gonna see. I've got a lot of other prep work to do, and I want to be a certain distance into book 3 before I launch. So my goal is to launch in August, but if I launch in September or October, I'm still good with it. But yeah, I'm super, super stoked about that. So let's get back to the writer's notebook. Okay, so let's get into what this is actually going to look like in my notebook. So what I'm doing here is totally screwing up on this upper label area, like the heading to this page, I messed up really bad. And I will continue to mess it up once I come in and fix it, because I apparently just cannot write. And this voiceover is going to be all over the place too. I'm just kind of all over the place today. I have 2 videos to film today, and then I have to completely rearrange my bedroom. So it's this video is going to be a little bit chaotic, and it probably already has been by now, and I am very, very sorry. So anyway, so this is season 1, episode 2, and I'm just creating a list right here of the things that I know as of right now that I think that I need to get done for each season or each episode. So what that is I need to read and then line edit it. I need to fill out my info sheet that I made for myself. I need to edit the text and add in any new content ideas. And then I need to edit the actual like manuscripts themselves. The ones that go up on Amazon and all the other places and things. And then I need to create end matter, so like the ending to the episode, and then front matter, so like the intro to the episode and the recap of the previous episode, that kind of thing. Okay, so thank you guys so much for watching today, and if you made it all the way here to the end through all of that chaos, I really genuinely appreciate you. Anyway, I will be back later this week with another episode. Yeah. I'll be back later this week with another video. I haven't actually yet decided what that video is going to be, and I'm supposed to be filming it next. So I might go rearrange the bedroom first and then film. I haven't decided yet. It's been one of those days. In fact, it's been one of those weeks already. So anyway, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will be back in a couple of days.